Relations between the U.S. and Russia were already so low that it was unlikely that a new U.S. Secretary of State would make them worse, Vladimir Putin's spokesman Dmitry Peskov said on Wednesday. Peskov's comments come a day after Central Intelligence Agency (CIA) Director Mike Pompeo was slated to replace Rex Tillerson as the U.S. top diplomat. "It is hardly possible to fall any lower than the floor," Peskov said in Moscow. "From this perspective, it is hardly necessary to worry about any further deterioration." At the same time, Peskov said there was always hope that the ties would be treated soberly and constructively. Read more. Tillerson sacking a negative development for Africa. China and Japan look to North Korea. China also commented on the issue, saying that Beijing was ready to work with Pompeo and hoped to continue cooperating with Washington on hotspot issues. "We of course hope that the positive momentum on the Korean peninsula, including the political will for talks of both the United States and North Korea, will be maintained," Chinese Foreign Ministry spokesman Lu Kang told a news briefing. China's neighbor and rival Japan also said they wanted to continue working with the U.S. on North Korea. However, Japan's Foreign Minister Taro Kono said that he personally regretted Tillerson's departure. Tillerson, was a frank, trustworthy counterpart and I thought we would deal with the North Korea issue together," Kono said. Berlin official bothered by lack of predictability in Germany. Chairman of the Bundestag Foreign Relations Committee Norbert Röttgen criticized the switch at the top of the U.S. State Department, saying it showed the lack of predictability. "This is just what we are missing, what the world is missing, predictability," he told DW. "This decision on the foreign minister, the firing without mentioning the reason, is just a symbol for the lack of predictability of the foreign policy of the United States." Röttgen also said that the appointment of Pompeo, known for his opposition to the Iran nuclear deal, would not change much in Washington's stance on Iran. "We knew before that the president has been critical, of this agreement," he said. However, pulling out of the nuclear accord would put the U.S. reliability at stake, according to the official. "Iran, not our concern." A former Exxon executive, Tillerson had served as Secretary of State for a little over a year. Donald Trump ousted Tillerson in order to form a new team ahead of talks with North Korea, adding that he and Tillerson disagreed on things. The relationship between them is said to have deteriorated after Tillerson reportedly called Trump a moron in October 2017. A Goldman Sachs veteran, Gary Cohn served as Donald Trump's top economic advisor at the head of the National Economic Council. He helped push through controversial tax reforms in 2017. However, Cohn stepped down in March 2018 after failing to persuade Trump to give up his idea of imposing tariffs on imported steel and aluminum. Hope Hicks resigned from her post as the White House Communications Director in late February 2018. A day before resigning, she testified before U.S. lawmakers on Russian interference. She admitted to telling white lies for Donald Trump, but not related to Russia. The White House insisted her resignation was not linked to the testimony. The 29-year-old former model was among Trump's closest aides. The White House staff secretary handed in his resignation after his ex-wives accused him of domestic abuse. Despite resigning, Rob Porter denied the allegations as simply false. Trump initially defended Porter, and the U.S. media questioned if and how Porter passed his background check for the job. Recently, reports surfaced of a romance between Porter and Trump's longtime aide Hope Hicks. He played a key role in getting Donald Trump into the White House, but even chief strategist Stephen Bannon was ousted within a year. Bannon was a champion of economic nationalism in Trump's America First strategy. After the fallout of white supremacist violence in Charlottesville mid-August, Bannon agreed to leave the administration. The 53-year-old former hedge fund investor nicknamed the Mooch was communications director for just 10 days. The colorful New Yorker filled a dream role that had been vacant for months, but was forced out on the same day that straight-shooting former Marine Corps General John Kelly became chief of staff. Trump was displeased with his infamous expletive-laden rant against other senior staff. Walter Schaub, the former director of the Office of Government Ethics, resigned in July 2017 after clashing with the White House over Trump's complicated financial holdings. Schaub reportedly called Trump's administration a laughingstock. Reince Priebus, the former White House chief of staff, was forced out just 6 months into his tenure after a public feud with Anthony Scaramucci, the White House communications director. Priebus was reportedly among those West Wing staffers who opposed the hire of Scaramucci. Sean Spicer, who had a fraught relationship with the president and the press, resigned after telling Trump he vehemently disagreed with the selection of Anthony Scaramucci as White House communications director. Mike Pompeo, the former White House communications director, was asked to leave in May 2017 over what was perceived as his poor handling of the allegations involving Russian involvement in the U.S. election. U.S. President Donald Trump fired FBI Director James Comey, allegedly over how he handled the Clinton emails investigation. Critics, however, believe the FBI's probe into Trump's campaign ties with Russia was the real reason. Trump's national security advisor, Michael Flynn, resigned in February 2017 after revelations that he had discussed U.S. sanctions on Russia with the Russian ambassador to the U.S. before Trump took office and misled Vice President Mike Pence about the conversations. Iran also appeared unshaken with Donald Trump's latest appointment. "This is a domestic issue for the U.S. and not our concern," Foreign Ministry spokesman Bahram Ghasemi Hossein said in Tehran, adding that constant changes in the Trump administration were nothing new. Iran is focusing on the U.S. broader policy and not individuals, according to this spokesman. Turkish Foreign Minister Mevlut Cavusoglu weighed in on the new Secretary of State from a diplomatic visit to Moscow. Cavusoglu said that Ankara wanted to be respected. "We do not want to comment on it, but whoever it will be, they need to first learn how to behave, approach and respect us," he said. Previously, Turkish media commented on a tweet allegedly made by Pompeo before he was named CIA director. The deleted tweet referred to the failed coup and reportedly dubbed Turkey as totalitarian Islamist dictatorship, DJJM, Reuters, DPA, AFP.